Hello and welcome to a new Cryptomatics episode. To be the first to know when we publish a new video, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. For the latest news and reviews of the crypto space, you can also find us on our other YouTube channel, CryptoRobin. If last time I was explaining what the pure proof-of-stake consensus mechanism on Algorand entails and how it takes place, today we will recap and then take a look at what advantages and disadvantages it can have. Algorand's pure proof-of-stake. Algorand has a method of producing nodes that consists of two phases, proposing and voting. Any member can participate in these processes by staking algo and generating a participation key to become a participation node. The coordination of these nodes is carried out by relay nodes, which ensure communication within the network but cannot propose or vote for other nodes on the network. The verifiable random function mechanism randomly chooses block leaders to propose new blocks, taking into account the size of their stake in relation to all the other accounts that want to participate. The voting phase follows, in which the participation nodes confirm the new block and Algorand goes into recovery mode. The cycle is then resumed. What are the advantages of pure proof-of-stake? Transfer speed. Based on this consensus mechanism, the blocks are finalized in seconds, the Algorand transfer being similar to that of large payment networks. That is why Algorand is the first blockchain to promise immediate transaction finality and exclude the risk of a hard fork. The high speed is also due to the fact that if a node proposes an erroneous block or malicious actions are identified, the owners of the problematic stake are not penalized. This happens precisely to avoid the interruption of the network's activity when such an initiative is identified, and therefore to shun a negative outcome altogether. Advanced level of decentralization and anonymity of participants. One aspect of proof-of-stake that kept raising questions was the fact that while solving the scalability problem, it made it likely for those who staked a huge number of tokens to become a monopoly, thus jeopardizing the decentralized nature of the network. It seems that pure proof-of-stake approaches the dilemma in an equidistant way. The difference would be that it initially selects validators randomly and not just according to the number of staked tokens. Therefore, all users of the blockchain can be selected at some point to participate in the validation, which ensures security and a higher level of decentralization. At the same time, only the proposed ones can check whether they have also been selected, which discourages the attacks or the activity of malicious people and entities. Therefore, an opponent can know who has weight in the generation of the next block only after the selected user has already participated in the consensus protocol, any attack on the network thus being discouraged. Low power consumption and minimum hardware requirement. As I was saying in the previous video, the operations involving the verifiable random function don't require large amounts of energy, nor do they require very complex hardware to be able to be performed. In other words, a validator for pure proof-of-stake doesn't have to invest considerable resources to participate in the network. What would be the disadvantages of pure proof-of-stake? Apart from the monopoly a large number of staked tokens could create, which pure proof-of-stake solves, this consensus mechanism has pretty much the same disadvantages as the classic proof-of-stake. The staking rewards are not very encouraging, except as a form of passive income and in relation to large amounts of staked tokens. The blockchain can tolerate an arbitrary number of malicious users as long as honest users, those who follow the protocol's instructions, hold more than 2/3 of the system's total stake. On Algorand, the number of staked tokens of a node that has proposed a problematic block is not reduced to discourage future participation. Instead, the network immediately goes into recovery mode and the process continues. While this ensures increased speed, it is criticized by the community for not punishing malicious participants. Conclusions. Pure proof-of-stake is a consensus mechanism specific to the Algorand blockchain and an alternative that differs from the proof-of-stake to a certain extent. Any user who owns algo, regardless of the amount of tokens they have, can become a validator, being selected based on a verifiable random function. The node proposing a new problematic block is not penalized. Instead, the network goes into recovery mode, which allows it to avoid fraud and attacks, as well as to ensure high transfer speeds. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you have other questions about pure proof-of-stake, don't hesitate to tell us in the comment section. So much for today. Don't forget to subscribe to the Cryptomatics channel if you want to stay up to date with the latest concepts in the crypto sector.